Let's go, pal.
What is going on, Wastelanders? It is me, the Lone Vault Wanderer, here to talk about Fallout 4 having voiced protagonists. Now, obviously, having voiced protagonists would be something very new to the Fallout series. You didn't have it in Fallout 1 or 2, you didn't have it in Fallout 3 or New Vegas, so the fact that Bethesda could be implementing voice-acted characters or protagonists for us as players is going to be something completely novel for Fallout fans. Now, in this video, I want to cover two things. First of all, do I actually think, based on what we saw in the Fallout 4 reveal trailer, that Fallout 4 is going to have voice protagonists? And second, do I like the fact that Fallout 4 will have voice protagonists? So let's cover the first topic. As you saw at the start of this video, the protagonist in the Fallout 4 reveal trailer at the end says to the dog, "Let's go, pal." It was not a subtle insertion, it was quite explicit. And I think it was completely intentional. Now, of course, it was intentional in the sense that they had to commission a voice actor, record some lines, and chuck it into the trailer. Of course, that was intentional. But what I really mean when I say it was intentional, in that the timing of the protagonist speaking those lines in the Fallout 4 trailer was intentional. You have this beautiful trailer which has progressed from this slow pan out. You see the dog, you see the world before the bombs fell and then after the bombs fell. But the very last scene is literally the protagonist looking at the dog saying, "Let's go, pal," and then it ends there. The trailer just cuts out and it goes to the promotional material. Now that's what I think was completely intentional. They ended the trailer on that note. They ended the trailer with the protagonist actually speaking some lines of dialogue, vocally. So why did Bethesda do that? It's to leave a lasting impression for the viewers. That's literally the last thing that they see. Yes, they saw all of this beautiful trailer beforehand, but the very last segment is the protagonist actually saying something. And that's why so many people are talking about it, because it was the very last thing that they saw. So because in terms of timing, the insertion of the dialogue was very intentional, I think it's quite obvious that Bethesda fully well intends in Fallout 4 to have voice protagonists. Whether male or female, I strongly believe that it's going to be for both. They're probably going to get a female voice actor to do the dub over for the female protagonist. Now, the second topic. Do I actually like the fact that the protagonist in Fallout 4 will be able to talk and will be voice acted? And to be completely honest, I am really indifferent to this. I see both sides of the argument, and of course there are two sides to the argument. On one side, Fallout games have never had a voice protagonist before. Now, I'm not just saying the precedent set by past Fallout games is a strong argument in and of itself for why Fallout 4 shouldn't have a voice protagonist and should have a silenced main character. But the reason why Bethesda did that in the past with Fallout 3 and why Obsidian did that with New Vegas is because in an open world RPG game where you create your own custom character, you set a gender, you set a race, you determine facial features, you just generally determine what they look like and how they're going to be visible in the wasteland. The fact that they're not voice acted means that us as players can imprint our personality, our own backstory, our own attributes to the in-game character. We can truly feel that we are actually him or her in the wasteland, talking to people, killing people, progressing through the main story. When a protagonist is not voice acted, psychologically you can actually imprint your own personal voice into the character itself, so you truly feel like you are playing as that character. Yes, there are games where you can customize your character to look like you in real life, or to look like a particular persona that you want your character to personify, but when that character is voice acted, it takes away from that immersion, because you are hearing a third person, somebody that you don't even know, and you're hearing their voice coming from the mouth of the main protagonist, bearing in mind that this is a character you created, and it's not your voice that's being protruded out vocally from their mouths. So in that sense, having a voice acted main character can take away from you truly feeling like you're in the shoes of the protagonist. So that is a very strong reason why Fallout 4 probably shouldn't have a voice protagonist. However, on the flip side, in order to keep intellectual property fresh and new and innovative, You've got to try different things, and I think Bethesda's gone into Fallout 4 with that exact intention in mind. They didn't have a blue healer as the main dog in terms of dog meat because they wanted to try something different. They included both scenarios before the Great War and after the Great War because they wanted to try something different. And in terms of the voice acting, they gave the main protagonist lines of dialogue and a voice actor because they want to try something different, because they want to progress the IP to new heights. And that's what many franchises don't do nowadays. They tend to stick with what is the same and only make small changes around the edges. But Bethesda is like, fuck it. We want to progress Fallout 3, we want to make it a better game, but we want to make it fresh in the minds of players, of long-term hardcore fans. So let's change things up a bit. Let's give the main character a voice actor. So because of that, I'm okay with Bethesda in terms of the voice acting, trying new things and seeing where Fallout 4 can go. I'm not going to come into Fallout 4 with any biases or with any preconceptions that having a voice actor in the game is going to be bad, just because it hasn't been done with past Fallout games, and just because I won't be able to truly step into the shoes of the protagonist because I can't envision my own personal voice as the voice of the protagonist, but instead there is a third person already doing that job for me. We have only literally seen a second of gameplay or trailer, whatever you want to call it, of the Fallout 4 protagonist being voice acted. We have no idea what implications this means for the game, for the story development, for the narrative, for character development. We actually have no idea what it means for Fallout 4. So we have no right, and it would be an injustice to go into Fallout 4 with that bias in that the protagonist is being voice acted. Therefore, I want to be completely dismissive of it, I want to be completely critical of it, and I'm not going to enjoy the game as much as I would if the protagonist was silent. I think that's a completely disingenuous way of going about things. Come to Fallout 4 with the idea that Bethesda wanted to progress the Fallout franchise, wanted to improve upon it, wanted to freshen things up and be innovative. If you play Fallout 4 for the first time with that frame of mind, I think the fact that the protagonist is not voice acted is going to be so much easier to accept and in fact embrace to its fullest extent. If you come in with certain biases or preconceptions, then more likely than not you're going to think it's a bad idea, and probably not for any strong reason. So anyways, Wastelanders, those are my thoughts. Please share your thoughts in the comments below and discuss about whether you like Fallout 4 having voice protagonists or main characters. And until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself, and as always, keep fighting the good fight.